الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون. The nikah which I'm going to announce has been settled between Shamayla, the daughter of Aziza Mirza Ahmad Sahib. She is the granddaughter of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Salis, Hazrat Mirza Nasir Ahmad Sahib, Khalifatul Masih Salis, Rahimahullah. And also is the granddaughter of Sahibzada Mirza Munir Ahmad Sahib, who is son to Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib, late Hazrat Mirza Bashir Ahmad Sahib. And the other party, that is bridegroom, is Mirza Waheed Ahmad, son of Aziza Mirza Khurshid Ahmad Sahib, who is the great-grandson of Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam, that is Mirza Khurshid Ahmad. He is the son to our eldest cousin, Hazrat Mirza Aziz Ahmad Sahib, marhum, that is late Hazrat Mirza Aziz Ahmad Sahib, who was the eldest son of Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam's eldest son, Hazrat Mirza Sultan Ahmad Sahib, from the first marriage. So he joined Ahmadiyyat by himself in the lifetime of his father before he accepted Ahmadiyyat. So in that he stood out. He achieved a distinction which his father denied himself for some times, not because he did not believe in Hazrat Masih Maud al-Islam's claims, but just because he was too humble to consider himself fit to follow the message of Masih Maud and fulfill the requirements of the Ba'ath. So that is what he always used to say. Whenever he spoke of Ahmadiyyat among his friends, and he had a very large circle of friends among the gentry of the Punjab in those days, and they bore witness to the fact that he always said, I know my father is right, he is commissioned by God, but I have not joined Ahmadiyyat because of my own shortcomings. But ultimately, with the grace of Allah, he also accepted Ahmadiyyat at the hand of my late father, Hazrat Muslim Maud Khalifatul Masih Sani, and out of the 3 blessed sons from Hazrat Amma Jan, this 4th was added. So in a strange way, that prophecy about Hazrat Muslim Maud was fulfilled, that wo 3 ko 4 karne wala hoga. He will change the number 3 to the 4, or add to the number 3, making it 4. So spiritually, Hazrat Masih Maud had 3 sons till his time. And when Hazrat Mirza Sultan Ahmad Sahib got initiated at his hands, he also joined the blessed progeny of Masih Maud, which could be considered a spiritual progeny. So till that he remained outside. And there are stranger ways of Allah that subtle prophecies are made far ahead of time and they get fulfilled when people cannot believe them to take place, and in the manner they took place also is so surprising. So that also was predicted, that was implied in this prophecy, that Hazrat Mirza Sultan Ahmad Sahib would live long enough to see through the first caliphate, and then long enough into the second caliphate, and would not die until he had become an Ahmadi. About Hazrat Mirza Aziz Ahmad Sahib, there is another very interesting, not story, but an incident which took place after he took bath. And I heard it from him himself. He used to repeat it so often, and with broad smiles on his face. He said that when I decided to get initiated at the hand of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani, the second head, I mentioned it to my father, and he said, yes, he's right. I have no objection against it. Go ahead and do it. And when I returned after my initiation, Thai Sahiba, we used to call her Thai Sahiba, the wife of the elder brother of Hazrat Masih Maud. So because she was the wife of the elder brother, so she was referred to as Thai. Thai means the wife of the elder uncle. She had not accepted Ahmadiyyat by that time either. So in Punjabi they say bath instead of bath. For her it was the same thing, whether she had done bath or done bath. So she played on a pun on this. Bath means caning. So she was bedridden, but when Mirza Azim returned, he said, oh, what a wonderful thing has happened. I understand you have been caned, And she had a good laugh at that. Now there was another prophecy, Thai, just that. Thai means the wife of the elder brother of your father. So just this revelation, Thai, that Thai will also come. And she could not be Thai until Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani was the caliph. And at her hand she had to accept, so that was the only reference of Thai which will get fulfilled at that time. So two prophecies got related to this. Hazrat Sahibzada Mirza Aziz Ahmad Sahib, our eldest cousin, he also used to tell the story with such broad smiles on his face, and he enjoyed repeating it. He said, oh, I waited and waited, and I knew she would come. And when ultimately she sent a message to Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Sani that, have I started speaking in English? I'm so sorry. Not because suddenly I saw the faces of English-speaking people and they were responding so well. Then I realized that I was speaking in English. All right, let it be in English. Mirza Khurshid Ahmad M.A. and all his family know English well. And also Mirza Anas Ahmad Sahib, my nephew. So let's continue. So he said, I was waiting. I knew she would come. So when she sent a message to Hazrat Muslim Maud that come and get my bath, of course he was shy. And he responded and went to her and accepted her bath. And then Mirza Aziz Ahmad Sahib started circuiting around her bed. Sunaya tonu bath vajje, Tayi ji, sunaya tonu bath vajje. Oh Tayi, I have heard that you have been caned. She shouted, in mock anger, abuses like they do in old families. But it was just a mock anger. Said, oh, you this and that, I would beat you. So this is the beauty of the revelations. No one can imagine these things to have happened. And people go discussing Doi and this and that and other big, broader prophecies. But there is so much of small incidents which is so powerfully indicative of the truth of Masih Maud and all those who are from God, that anyone with a fair attitude to things must be fully satisfied, have unshakable faith in the truth of such people. Now these two prophecies, as I mentioned, they're indicative of this category of prophecies which I'm referring to. How on earth could it happen in the same family and without fail, these prophecies to be fulfilled verbatim at the right moment, unless God had shown this? And Taiji, I have seen her myself, was a very old lady, I think more than 80 definitely, but around 90 or something, when she got initiated. And she did not die until she got initiated. If she knew, I think she might have waited a bit longer, because this was a sure guarantee of her longevity. So this is the family on the one side, and the other side, of course, it is Sheila, the bride-to-be, is the granddaughter of Hazrat Khalifatul Masih Salis, our eldest brother. On both sides, eldest brothers are involved, and I'm very happy to announce this afternoon the marriage between the two parties. That is Aziza, I'm sorry, the name is Shamayla, but we call her Sheila, don't we? So that is why the name Sheila came to my lips. Daughter of Mirza Anas Ahmad Sahib is about to be married to Mirza Waheed Ahmad Sahib, son of Mirza Khurshid Ahmad Sahib, grandson of Hazrat Mirza Aziz Ahmad Sahib, at a dowry of 100,000 Pakistani rupees. On the bright side, the attorney is Mirza Luqman Ahmad Sahib, who also happens to be a wali, in case there was no other elder wali. But today he's working as attorney for the bride, and for the bridegroom, I will work as attorney. So Mirza Luqman Ahmad Sahib, do you agree to the proposed marriage of Mirza Waheed Ahmad Sahib, son of Mirza Khurshid Ahmad Sahib, with your niece Shamayla, the daughter of Mirza Anas Ahmad Sahib, with Mirza Waheed Ahmad Sahib? I haven't said that. No, Mirza Waheed Ahmad Sahib, son of Mirza Khurshid Ahmad Sahib, at a dowry of 100,000 Pakistani rupees. Yes. Congratulations. Barakallahu lakum. And as attorney to the bridegroom, I give my consent for his marriage with Shamayla, Anas, daughter of Mirza Anas Ahmad Sahib, with Mirza Waheed Ahmad Sahib, son of Mirza Khurshid Ahmad Sahib, at a dowry of 100,000 Pakistani rupees. Let's join in silent prayer, please. Amen.